going? It is Fangs, and welcome to a video that'll be completely different than the stuff that you've seen on my channel as of recent, because it's a completely different topic, and it's something that relates to my real life situation and what's happening in a thing that I'm doing tomorrow. I'm actually doing a Run for Life race, and if you guys don't know what Run for Life is, I made a video about it last year. I did a charity live stream for it. I wasn't able to do that charity live stream this year, which I'm highly disappointed in. What it is, Run for Life is it's for suicide prevention, pretty much. So you're running, you're donating, and you're trying to help out people who've either dealt with suicide, who are possibly thinking about doing suicide, and it's pretty much to help like educate them and hopefully prevent them from doing that. Last year you kind of heard about my story, but it was still pretty fresh. It had barely even been a year since I lost my friend to suicide. So I couldn't really talk about it. I couldn't go like into any details because I was still very it was still an emotional time. I was just getting over some of the emotional distress that came. So on November 14th, 2 years ago, so nearly 2 years, that'll be in a couple of months, my friend took his life. It was really a terrible moment, like in all my friends, any part of our lives. Not to mention it like really affected me. So I was supposed to go into town that day. It was a Friday. I lived in Austin at the time, and I was supposed to go into town, but I didn't want to because it was really cold and all my friends were going to like a reunion football game for my team, and I was like, I don't know if I can make it. I'll just come in tomorrow morning. I forgot what was happening. Well, oh, I had a wedding that weekend. It was actually my friend Kate's wedding. And so I say, you know what, I'm just gonna come in on Saturday. I'm not gonna make it in. Everybody's there. I see pictures from it and I'm like, yeah, that could have been fun, but I just decided not to. I stayed in, I made a YouTube video, and I ended up not driving into town. So on my way into town that morning, woof, it's still kind of hard to talk about. On my way into town that morning, I get a call, and it's from my friend Jenny, and they'd called me like an hour or so before, but I was just like, man, did they actually stay up all night and get drunk, and they're trying to call me at 4 in the morning? Like, what are they even calling me for? So I answered, and it's not my friend Jenny, it's actually my other friend, and she is, you know, upset, and she's, you know, saying I need to tell you something, and I'm just like, what? Like, what's going on? I have no idea. I know that there's something that had been wrong with her father, so maybe something had happened to her father. But then I get some of the worst news I've had in my life, and it was that her boyfriend, who is one of our good friends, had committed suicide. Now, as it had happened, I mean, maybe he had thought about it. I had no idea that he had depression. I had no idea that he was unhappy. He seemed happy. He was super intelligent. He knew all this stuff. He was so into like the stars and like astronomy and science, and he made straight A's. I think when he was in middle school, he was like, he had a letter written to the president because he did so good. Like, he was such a good student, such a good person, and he didn't seem unhappy. He played games. We played games like probably a week before this had happened. We were playing Titanfall, and he was in the same lobby as like me and Nep and A9 Skills. So I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that it was even possible. At first I didn't believe it until I got into town and it all sunk in, and it was like a rainy day, which made it 10 times worse, and everything just seemed so depressing. So the story of what happened is, I guess maybe he had been contemplating it. We don't know. We obviously don't know, but maybe he'd been contemplating it. And so they went out and they went to the game. He seemed fine there. They ended up drinking more, continued on into a bar, and he didn't seem too bad until the end of the bar, but he got like pretty drunk. Like, he was really drunk. They don't know how drunk, because I mean, at some point, you know, I get that way, to where you're just like, I don't want to talk to anybody type of thing when you get drunk, but he was really drunk. And so they dropped him off at the house. They dropped both of them off at their house, and they're like, ooh, like, I don't know, maybe we should like wait and see and make sure they get in and stuff, but they ended up leaving. Now, they had stopped by Whataburger to get some food, and he didn't want to eat the food or anything like that, which I guess at this point, if you think about it, may be like a sign that something's completely wrong, or maybe he just didn't. Maybe he was just mad. Like, drunk people are just mad sometimes. So he didn't want to eat the food, and he ended up going back to the house, and even then she was sitting downstairs, my friend, and she was like, I have your Whataburger here, and he was like, I don't want anything, and he just like set his keys down and went upstairs. So she didn't think anything of it. I mean, people fight, couples fight, or they have problems. You know, whenever you're drunk, I fight with Jeffy all the time whenever I drink liquor. It's the worst thing. I just don't drink liquor. I'll only drink beer because it just causes, you know, I don't know why, it just happens. But anyway, so she decided to go up to her room to brush her teeth. They had like 2 different rooms. There was like, it was a condo, I guess. So you walk up the stairs, there's their main room, and then there's a guest room. And he was sitting in the guest room on the bed watching TV. So she just, you know, sees him, just walks past, like, I'll just let him be for right now, goes into her bathroom to brush her teeth, and that's when she heard a really loud bang. She obviously like rushed to see what was wrong, and she found him. It was horrific. He had used a shotgun, inflicted a gun wound to his head, and so she had to see every bit of it. And I just, for her being able to be emotionally stable like she is now, like, I felt so bad for her. I felt so bad in general, but I felt so bad for her. She ended up having to get the neighbors. The neighbors had to come up. They had to see it. They called the ambulance. He was dead probably like instantly when it happened. I can't ever see him as being a person that would do that, especially because he was a good friend. Like, I can't see him wanting, I guess he didn't know. I feel like people who commit suicide don't realize the after effect. Like, they think that if they do it, then it's gonna better the person, maybe, that they're leaving, like, oh, I'm out of here, the burden, I'm out of here. But the aftermath of what happened the next day will sit with me and some of my friends for the rest of our lives. For one, it was heartbreaking, it was emotional. For two, my friend wanted to get out of that apartment as fast as possible. She could never, or the condo, she could never imagine living in there after seeing that. So we were like, you know, we need to help her. We need to get all of this stuff out of there. And the moment that we walked in to that apartment and the aftermath that I saw will literally haunt my dreams for the rest of my life. It was horrendous, and it was terrible, and it made my stomach turn, and it just made me hurt. And you could see, like, it's almost like you could run the play-by-play in your head as you're trying not to vomit. Like, it was just bad. After scenes like that, the police come, the people come, and they take the body, but they don't clean anything. That was probably one of the most saddest things that I have ever dealt with. So that's my first occurrence with suicide. And I myself, if you don't know much about me, I guess I've never really brought it up. I didn't know this until like 6 months ago, but I suffer from depression and I suffer from anxiety. I hear a lot of this. I've seen it now. It's come out on YouTube where people said they had it. So I don't know if there's like a correlation of creativity in YouTubers or what happens that creates this, but it happens in a lot of YouTubers I've seen, and it happened in me, and I had no idea what it was for a lot of my life. So I didn't have the greatest childhood, at least from a certain part. Up until I was about 12 years old, I went through a lot of stuff. You guys have seen it in my Draw to Life. Like, I went through dealing with parents with drug addictions. I went through living in multiple houses, living between grandmas, aunts, you know, everyone just pushing you around different places, having electricity, not having electricity, having money, not having money. I saw things I shouldn't see at that age. I mean, things just did not go well for me at that point in my life, and it left a scar on me, and it continued on through whenever I was in middle school. Not so bad in middle school, as it pushed so hard whenever my emotions and stuff started coming out in high school. So I seem very happy on the outside, and I feel very happy, or I want to be very happy on the outside. I guess I don't feel it. I want to be very happy on the outside, and everything's fine some days. But then there's other days where everything is not fine. And I wake up, at least I did, I woke up, I didn't want to get out of bed. If I did get out of bed, I had this like pressuring feeling that was on my chest and in my stomach, like something like miserable had happened or was going to happen, when nothing. Like, it could have been the greatest time. I could have hit 1 million subs and I would still have this like pressure on my chest, like I need to breathe and I can't breathe, and I have to like take deep breaths, and it just was getting to me. I had times where it got bad, more so I think the anxiety, where I would go out in public and I'd be around people and there'd be too many people, and I'd just start getting really stressed out, and I was like, I have to get out of here. Like, couldn't go in the malls. I hated traffic. Being in traffic literally almost made me lose it. The depression was probably more so bad after the suicide happened, because I began to feel bad. I began to think about things like, why did this happen? And I thought about things that I had thought about in the past. I never actually have thought about killing or harming myself, but I have had times where I've been so sad, and I think that life is so bad that like I wonder, like, I wish something bad could happen to me. Like, maybe I'll get in a car wreck and then, you know, that'll be better than what I'm feeling right now. So to see this and to not understand it, and to think, you know, what if I would have drove into town that Friday? What if I would have talked to him? What if we would have had a good time? What if I wouldn't have let him drink so much? Would he have done it? And the question is, at some point, if he was gonna do it, he would. Now, he was under the influence. Whenever they did the toxicology report, it was as if he had had 17 shots and he had taken Adderall, and that's what kind of counter-affected it to where you couldn't exactly tell that he was that drunk. But it really affected me, and I was in a slump, and it was sad. I'd find times where I'd just break down. I'd be sitting in the kitchen making, I don't know, a glass of milk, and I would just like sit down on the floor and break down crying, because it was just super upsetting. So at some point I decided to realize, like, this was affecting me. Like, I can't get things done. I can't do things the way I want to do. I don't feel good. Like, I'm a affecting my relationship. Will doesn't understand what's going on because he's not going through it. He's trying to help me. He's trying to make me feel better. Goes out and, you know, gets me a Pepsi and gummy bears and is like, I hope this makes you feel better. But inside it just can't, no matter what. Even if I want to be happy for that, even if I want to be thankful, I couldn't be. And what it is, I went to go see a doctor and she pretty much like explained to me that you have these serotonin levels and it affects people. With me, I think it runs in my family. Bipolar runs in my family. A lot of different mental issues run in my family. And she said it affects you to the fact where if your serotonin levels are too low, then there's a possibility that you can start feeling anxiety. And that was my worst part about it. Like getting on an airplane, doing a ton of things was just, my anxiety just rose and I can like break out sweating. I'd be like shaky a little bit sometimes, like it was bad. And so she said, you know, I want to try something on you just to see if it helps. She gave me a prescription to a drug called Lexapro. And I've been taking that for about 6.5 months now. And I literally have never felt better in my entire life. Like I don't feel that feeling anymore, and it's sad because I don't want to be on pills. I hate being on pills. I won't take them if I don't have to, and the only one I've ever really taken in my life is birth control. But if it's gonna make me feel the way that I feel now and it's gonna take away, it's almost as if, like, even if I want to be depressed, I know this could be a bad part of it, but even if I want to be depressed and think about something, it's like, I think working out helps as well because I work out a lot. That's something that they told me to do. And then on top of this, I'm just got too much endorphins and my serotonin level is leveled to where I'm just like, you know what? I can get past that. Like I can do something else and it's totally fine. So I'm really, really glad that I've made it to this point in my life now, and especially in this moment and how this suicide affected me and the things that it did to me. I'm glad that I can get to the point where I can like talk about it and I can tell you guys about it and I can talk to anybody about it, and it's not gonna be something where I just totally lose it. So 2 years, November 14th, the Run for Life is something that I did last year in honor of him, and all my friends did it. This year, some of them are not doing it, and me and Doobie are gonna do it for sure. And I wanna record the entire thing. Like, I'm obviously not gonna show you me running for like 30 minutes, because who knows how long, it's a 5K. Who knows how long that's gonna take me, but I'll give you clips of me running it, I'll give you clips of me going and picking up my badge, and I'll let you know how I feel afterwards. So that's kind of what this video is about today. It's kind of like a little, you know, remembrance of my friend. It's a story, and it's me telling you, like, you yourself, if you're a person watching me, because I know what it's like to deal with depression. If you deal with depression, it can be okay. You need to seek help. There's different hotlines that you can call. I'll list them in the description down below that you can call, and you need to know that in the end, no matter how bad the day is that you're dealing with, there is always tomorrow, and there's something that can always be fixed, and there's someone that loves you out there, or someone that will love you out there, and there's people that care about you. And even if you feel like there's just no way out, there is a way out, and there is hope, and you can get through it. Don't be the person that makes your friends show up the next day and see things that they won't be able to erase from their memory. You're better than that. You're amazing. You're awesome. You guys, like anybody's a person. If you're my viewer, I love you. So at least hold that, you know, deep in your heart. I am gonna have a link to the charity in the description. If you guys don't mind, if you want, you can totally donate to that. If you don't want to donate to it, I understand as well. All the revenue from this video will actually go towards that charity, so it's pretty awesome for that cause. And what they do, actually, I didn't get to explain it too much, like whenever it happened with my friend, they send like a team out the instant it happens, even if it's in the middle of the night. They send a team out and they're right there on the site trying to like help you work your way through. Like obviously you're in shock, and they try to like help you out from that moment, and they do it like months in advance with meetings. They have like all this kind of different books you can read, all these things that you can do. So it's a really amazing cause, and I think it's something that I definitely will support. Next year, hopefully I'll be able to do the charity live stream for it, but for now we're just gonna do the run. So guys, the rest of the video should be a little bit more of like a vlog. It also, if I'm gonna be doing the 100 days of fitness, this should maybe count as the first day of 100 days of fitness, because it's a 5K, so that's a pretty long run. Anyway guys, I am going to go eat now, and then I will see you guys when I'm on my way to pick up my registration stuff and all my things for the run. Alright guys, sudden change of events. I apparently need eyeglasses, so I'm gonna be rocking these probably for the rest of the time of YouTube. I'm just kidding, these aren't mine, these are Doobie's, and I actually can't even see my camera right now to see what's going on. Oh, actually, wait a minute. They look kind of good when we're driving. Maybe I do need glasses. I can see, it's kind of nauseating though. Looking up there looks nauseating. Up close they look good. Are they up close or far away? Okay, well, these are probably not the kind of glasses I would need. These are Doobie's new glasses. So we're heading on our way to Luke's locker to get our registration packets for the race. Should be able to pick up a t-shirt there, and then be able to, you get to make like a little thing on saying like who's it in memory of. I'm looking looking very rough right now because I've been recording videos all day, literally just working non-stop. I have to do this, then I have to get Ginny a present, and then we have to go eat at Ginny's, or at this place called Babes for Ginny's birthday, so this is gonna be a long day. I feel like it was just yesterday we were actually eating at Babes for her birthday. We did this last year, and I feel like time goes by so much faster now than it used to. Like, I just snap my fingers and then it's a new year. So it's gonna be fun. We'll record whenever we go in to get the packets, and see you guys there.
Hello.
Everybody, this is Kate. She is also running in the running life, so she should be awesome tomorrow. I'm gonna run walk. I've already explained it to you because I have to run walk because I haven't worked out in about a week.
I might not run.
Really?
Only because I have to do things back at the place.
Oh,
Talk to them.
okay.
Like,
all right.
pass out waters and bananas and stuff.
That makes sense. I'll be one of the people wanting those waters.
Yes, I will provide water and water. That works.
Probably the worst thunderstorm we've had in ages. I thought there was going to be a tornado at some point because the